The stakes are pretty high in Georgia. The state's two Senate runoff elections are in just 27 days, and the winners will decide who controls the chamber. NBC News correspondent Shaquille Brewster joining me now from Atlanta. Shaq, what are the candidates and their supporters up to today?
You're seeing a lot going on. I started this morning at a rally with the union, Hospitality Workers Union, and they were planning to knock on over 1 million doors by January 5th, and they were doing a kickoff celebration today. But as far as the candidates, you've seen Jon Ossoff out. He's in Macon, Georgia right now. His event is actually probably wrapping up as we speak. And then Senator David Perdue. His campaign hasn't been advising many of his stops, but we do know he had a stop in Hartwell, Georgia today. So we know they're out there. They are in force. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo was actually in Atlanta this morning. It wasn't a campaign event. It was an official event, but we've been seeing the Secretary of State make politically timed stops, we should say. The message isn't political, but politically timed, of course, just a couple of weeks before this runoff election. Allison?
Shaq, early voting starts Monday. We know 4 of the state's largest counties are cutting the number of early voting sites, but Cobb County is already backtracking a little bit. What changes to the changes did they announce this afternoon?
Just a little bit. You know, in November, during the election, or really before November, but for November's election, they had 11 early voting locations available for residents. They announced earlier this week that number would be just 5. Well, earlier today, they announced that they'll have 2 additional early voting locations, bringing that total to 7 for the 3rd week of early voting. That's the last week before Election Day. I spoke to an official here at Cobb County. You know, many voting rights groups have been saying that's a form of voter suppression, shrinking the number of early voting locations. And I asked him, is that an example of voter suppression? Here's what he told me.
We'll monitor things to see how things are going at all our advanced voting locations and make additional adjustments if necessary. I think one of the things that we were expecting when we went into this is that, unlike November, this is a short ballot. There's only 2 races on the ballot. The check-in process for getting people in has been much smoother during the last advanced voting process. So we assume that people will be able to get into these facilities faster and get out quicker and take some of the burden off the wait times.
And it was just before that where he said flatly, no, it's not a form of voter suppression, that it's more of a reflection of staffing shortages. Allison?
All right, Shaq Brewster at Atlanta. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.